You don't wake up at night because you drank too much water. That's the story you tell yourself. But your body doesn't wake you up by accident. It wakes you up when it doesn't feel safe enough to stay asleep. Think about that. In the quiet, in the dark, when nothing is demanding your attention, your body is still alert, still checking, still bracing. And if your nights are restless, there's a reason. And it's showing up in your life during the day too. Stay with me, because once you understand what's really happening, tonight can be different. Most men don't wake up at night because they have to pee. They wake up because their body doesn't feel safe enough to rest. If your body keeps waking you up at night, it's not a bladder problem, it's a control problem, and no one's talking about it. The night isn't interrupting your sleep, it's exposing something you've been avoiding all day. You think you're waking up to pee, but your body is really checking if you're still in control of your life. If your sleep is broken, your discipline probably is too, and your body knows it before you do. There's a reason your body won't let you rest at night, and it has nothing to do with water. Your body doesn't wake you up at night by accident. It does it when it doesn't trust you to handle tomorrow. Most men blame age, stress, or hydration, but the real reason you wake up at night is much harder to face. Most men don't wake up at night because they have to pee. They wake up because their body never learned how to rest, because even in silence, something inside them stays alert, waiting, guarding, bracing, and that should make you uncomfortable, because if your body can't let go at night, what do you think it's doing to you during the day? Pause. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly slept? Not collapsed, not passed out from exhaustion, actually slept. Because getting up at night isn't about the bladder. It's about tension that never turns off. It's about a nervous system that forgot what safety feels like. You tell yourself it's normal. You tell yourself it's age, stress, water, bad luck. But deep down you know something else is going on. Your mind is always busy. Your phone is always close. Your dopamine is always leaking. And your body is paying the price. Think about it. All day long you're stimulated. Notifications, noise, screens, opinions, pressure. There is no silence anymore. And when silence finally arrives at night, your body panics because silence feels unfamiliar. Stillness feels unsafe. So your system creates an excuse to wake you up. A signal, a reason, a movement. You stand up in the dark, half awake, eyes heavy, and for a moment, you're alone with yourself. That's the real reason you wake up. Not the urge, the avoidance. You don't realize it, but your body has learned something powerful. Movement feels safer than stillness. So let me flip this for you. What if the solution isn't forcing sleep, but teaching your body it doesn't need to stay on guard? What if the real hack isn't mechanical, but emotional? Because men who live tense lives have tense nights, and men who never slow down never truly rest. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your discipline is scattered, your focus is fractured, your energy is borrowed from stimulation, and when stimulation fades, your body searches for a substitute. You scroll, you snack, you wake up. Same pattern, different costume. But here's the twist most men never see. Your body isn't broken. It's trying to protect you. From what? From sitting with your thoughts, from feeling what you've been outrunning, from the quiet questions you avoid during the day. Am I wasting my potential? Why do I feel restless? Why does nothing fully satisfy me? Those questions don't disappear at night. They wait. And when your mind shuts off, your body speaks. So what do? You don't fight the night. You don't panic. You don't blame your body. You teach it something new. You slow your breath before bed, not to relax, but to signal control. You lower stimulation earlier, not perfectly, intentionally. You sit in silence for a few minutes. No phone, no music, no escape. And yes, it feels uncomfortable, that's the point, because discomfort is the doorway to regulation, and regulation is what lets the body rest. Most men avoid silence because silence exposes truth, but the men who master silence master themselves. And something strange happens when you do this consistently. Your nights deepen, your sleep settles, your body stops checking for threats. You don't wake up because you don't need to, not because of a trick, but because your system finally trusts you. That trust spills into the day. You become calmer, more grounded, less reactive. Discipline feels simpler. Focus feels cleaner. You stop leaking energy. And for the first time in a long time, you feel present inside your own body. That's the real win. Not dry nights, clear mornings, because a man who can rest deeply can move powerfully. So tonight, don't chase sleep. Earn it. by facing the quiet, by slowing down, by letting your body learn it doesn't need to protect you anymore. The night isn't your enemy, it's your mirror. And when you stop running from it, it finally lets you rest. There's a moment most men miss. It happens right before sleep, right when the lights go off, right when the room goes quiet. That small window, where you're not distracted yet, but not unconscious either. That's where the truth waits. Your body remembers everything you didn't process today. The conversation you avoided, the anger you swallowed, the goal you delayed again. Your nervous system keeps score, so when you lie down, flat on your back, staring into the dark, your body asks a simple question. Are we finally safe? And if the answer is unclear, it stays alert. That alertness doesn't always feel like anxiety. Sometimes it feels like restlessness, sometimes like a racing mind, sometimes like a sudden urge to move, to get up, to check something, to pee. Movement creates control, control creates relief, but only for a moment. Here's something no one tells young men. Your body doesn't trust words, it trusts patterns. You can tell yourself, I'm fine. I'll fix things later. I'll get serious tomorrow. But your body watches what you do. It sees the late nights, the endless scrolling, the cheap dopamine. It sees you numbing instead of building, escaping instead of deciding. So at night, it refuses to fully shut down because it thinks, if he's not in control during the day, I need to stay awake at night. That's the real imbalance, not water, not age, not luck. Responsibility without regulation. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. If someone watched your daily habits quietly, would they trust you to protect them? Would they feel safe around your discipline, your focus, your consistency? Or would they stay alert too? Because that's exactly what your body is doing. Here's the shift most men never make. They try to relax their way out of tension. But tension doesn't dissolve through softness. It dissolves through clarity. When you know where you're going, your nervous system calms down. When your days have structure, your nights have peace. When your effort is honest, your sleep becomes deep. This is why purpose matters more than motivation. Motivation is loud. Purpose is quiet. Motivation spikes dopamine. Purpose stabilizes it. And a stable nervous system doesn't wake up at night searching for relief. So what do you do tonight? You don't try to be perfect. You do one thing that signals strength to your body. You choose stillness and stay there. When the urge comes to check your phone, to get up, to distract, you pause, not forcing, not fighting, just noticing. You breathe slower than feels necessary. You let the discomfort exist without escaping it. And something important happens in that silence. Your body realizes he's not running. That realization is powerful because for a man, presence is protection. Night after night, that signal compounds. Less tension, less vigilance, less unnecessary wake-ups. Not because you hacked your bladder, but because you earned trust. And that trust changes how you wake up. Mornings feel quieter. Your thoughts feel slower. Your energy stops swinging wildly. You become less reactive, more deliberate. And people feel that around you. You speak less, but when you do, it lands. You move slower, but with intent. That's grounded masculinity, not loud confidence, not fake discipline, calm control. And it starts in the dark when no one is watching. One last thing. If you wake up tonight anyway, don't judge yourself. Just notice. Notice what your body is asking for. Notice what your life has been avoiding, because every signal has meaning. And when you stop numbing, start listening, and choose responsibility over escape, your body will follow. Eventually, the night becomes quiet again. And when it does, you won't even notice the change. You'll just sleep. There comes a night when something shifts. Not dramatically, not all at once. It's subtle. You lie down the same way you always do. Same room, same darkness, same silence. But this time, your body doesn't argue. No restless legs, no tight chest, no sudden need to escape the moment. Just wait. Your shoulders drop, your jaw loosens, your breath deepens on its own. And in that moment, you realize something. You weren't tired before. You were overstimulated. You weren't broken. You were bracing. Most men live their lives clenched. Clenched minds, clenched bodies, clenched futures. Always preparing for something that never comes. Conflict, failure, judgment, regret. So they stay alert, even in bed, even in the dark. But when you start choosing stillness, Day after day, something ancient inside you relaxes, because stillness is not weakness. Stillness is readiness without fear. That's the lesson most men miss. Silence isn't empty, it's where alignment happens. And alignment is what creates peace. You stop chasing stimulation, not because it's bad, but because you don't need it anymore. Your dopamine stops spiking and crashing. It steadies, and a steady system sleeps deeply. Here's the final truth. Your nights are a reflection of your days. If your days are scattered, your nights will be restless. If your days are dishonest, your nights will stay alert. But when your days carry intention, even imperfect intention, your nights soften. You don't need a perfect routine. You need integrity with yourself. You need to know that when you say, "I'll handle it," you actually will. That trust, self-trust, is the deepest sedative there is. No pill does what integrity does. No hack replaces alignment. And when a man knows deep down that he's facing his life instead of avoiding it, his body finally stands down. The guard leaves the post. Sleep arrives, not forced, not chased, invited. So if you remember one thing from this, let it be this. You don't rest because the world is safe. You rest because you are solid, because you can handle tomorrow, because you're no longer running from today. That's why the night lets you sleep. And tomorrow morning, when you wake up without interruption, you won't feel proud, you'll feel calm, and calm is power without noise. Hold on to that, build from that, and when the world speeds up again, because it will, you'll know how to slow down, not by escaping, but by standing still. That's where real control lives. That's where rest begins. And that's how the night finally lets you go. Tonight, when the room goes dark, nothing magical will happen. No sudden transformation, no loud victory, just a quiet choice to stay, to breathe, to not escape the moment. And that choice, even if it feels small, changes everything. Because for once, you're not asking the night to fix you. You're showing it that you're ready. Ready to carry your life without flinching. Ready to sit with discomfort without running. Ready to let your body stand down. That's what maturity feels like. Not excitement, not intensity, stability. And stability is rare. Most men are loud inside, always chasing something, always proving something. But the man who can be quiet, be still, and sleep deeply, that man is dangerous in the best way, because he's no longer reacting to life, he's choosing it. So if you wake up tonight, don't curse the darkness. Let it remind you of who you're becoming. A man who doesn't need noise to feel alive. A man who doesn't need movement to feel in control. A man who doesn't need escape to feel safe. Eventually, the waking stops. The body learns. The night softens. And sleep comes not as relief, but as permission. Permission to rest. Permission to recover. Permission to prepare. And when morning arrives quietly, without struggle, you won't remember the night. You'll feel ready for the day. That's the real win. Not the absence of waking, but the presence of strength. And it begins right now, in the dark, with you.